Hello all, welcome back to my channel Data Sculptor. Today we are going to see one more interesting SQL question. So the question is, you have table with three columns called attempt ID, player ID and score. So for each and every player ID you have multiple attempts, and for each and every attempt you have some score. Okay, in this input you have two players with each three attempts. So in there can be a scenario where a player can have multiple attempts. It might not be necessarily three. It can be greater than three or less than three. So just for our input purpose, we are considering three records. So the output I'll require additionally four different columns. First one is difference first. So difference first is, so for each and every player ID, we need to subtract the score with the first attempt score. So in this case, it is for this player ID, the first attempt score is 2. So here difference first is 2 minus 2, 0, 7 minus 2 is 5, and 8 minus 2 is 6. And similarly for second player as well. And difference last means you have to subtract each attempt score with the last attempt score. That means in this case, we have to subtract with attempt 83 score. So 2 minus 8 is minus 6, 7 minus 8 is minus 1, and 8 minus 8 is 0. So similarly for second player as well. And next is previous score lower. Is previous score lower is for each and every user, you need to for each and every player you need to see whether in each attempt if the score is greater than or uh, greater than the previous attempt score. So here 2 is, since it's the first attempt, so it will always be 1, and here 7 is greater than 2, so it's 1, 8 is greater than 7, so it is 1, and in this for the second player 6 for the first attempt is 6, so it's always 1, and 9 is greater than 6, it is 1, but 7 is less than 9, so it is previous score lower is 0. And overall improved is one more column. So it means that if the player in each of the attempts is increasing his score. So in this first play, if you see the first player, for each of the attempt it is 2, 7 and 8. For each of the attempt it is increasing than the previous attempt, and so that's why it is 1 for all the three all the three rows. And for this, if you see 2002, first is 6, so 9 is greater than 6, so it is fine, but here 7 is less than 9. That means there is no constant increase in the score. So that's why for 2002 it is 0. Overall improved is 0. So hope you all understood the question. So now let's go back to SQL Server Studio and see how we can solve this. So we already have this DML written. So this is the input. So now let's see how to get the first two columns, difference first and difference last. So to get this, first let's calculate the minimum attempt ID and the maximum attempt ID for each player. So let's keep this in a CTE with CTE underscore min max as select player ID from player scores, comma min of attempt ID as min underscore attempt, comma max of attempt ID as max underscore attempt. So we have to use a group by player ID. You have to use group by because we are using aggregate functions here. So we are getting the minimum attempt and maximum attempt. So now what I'll do, I'll just do select from player scores PS left join CTE min max CTE on player PS dot player ID is equal to CTE dot player ID. So now if I run this, what are we getting? This is the output. So minimum attempt 3 and maximum attempt 3 for each of the. But now we need to get the scores. So now again what I'll do, so left join player scores. So basically we are using a self join here. So now CT dot on, I'll write CT dot player ID is equal to PS underscore min dot player ID, and CT dot min attempt is equal to PS underscore min dot attempt ID. And similarly, let's get the maximum also. I'll just copy paste this, and here I'll use max CAT and PS max and here also PS max, and here instead of min attempt I'll use the max attempt. Okay, so now let's see what we are getting in this query. So if you see, this is the uh, yeah, this is first. So this is the min attempt, max attempt, and again we are joining with the player score. So again, here we are getting the min attempt score, and similarly here we are getting the max attempt score for each of the row. So now here what we do, ps dot player id comma ps dot attempt id comma ps dot score comma we need so here we need uh, score minus the difference first. So 2 minus 2, right? So here we write ps dot score minus ps underscore min dot score as difference first, difference underscore first. Similarly, ps dot score minus ps underscore max dot score as difference underscore last. So now we are getting the difference first and difference last columns as required in the output. Okay, now this is the average is previous score lower. So simply now what we'll do is previous score lower. So to get the previous score of the based on the current score, we have to use the lag function. So lag of score, sorry, ps dot score over partition by player id. I'm just using only the player id because I want the um, score for each player id uh, based on the attempt id. So partition by player id, order by so here it is ps dot player id, order by ps dot attempt id. So this is the lag. So but case when this is null. So because if the lag will be null only if it is if it is the first attempt. So case when lag is null, then 1. We are considering if as 1 if it is the first attempt score. So then 1, else not else. So when again when um, if ps dot score is greater than or equal to this entire lag function. So if the current score is greater than or equal to the previous score, then 1, else 0, and as we want is previous score lower, is previous score lower. So with this we are getting all the columns output till is previous score lower. So this is matching with all. Next is overall improved. So for is overall improved, we need to see whether if the previous the logic here is whether the previous score lower sum. Let's see if the sum is equal to the number of attempt IDs. So basically, if this sum is 3, if it is equal to the count of distinct count of attempt IDs, which is also 3, then you can mark it as 1. You can mark it as 0. So in this case it is 2 and here it is 3. Both are not same, so it is 0. So for that, in this first CT, we'll write one more comma count of attempt IDs. We want the count of attempt ID because we'll compare the previous score lower sum with the count of attempt IDs. So in this initial CT itself, I'll consider the count of attempt IDs. So attempt count. And second thing, this one I'll keep it in a CT underscore main as CT underscore main I'll keep. And next thing, select from. Now this CT underscore main will be my base as M left join CT underscore min max as on m dot player id is equal to dot player id. So now let's see what we are getting if I do select star. So yeah, if I doing select star, this is the entire CT, this whatever CT dot main we have stored. So till this it's correct. And again, we are getting the count attempt count for each of the player ID. So now here I'll just write m dot player ID, comma, um, sum of uh, mm, sorry, sum of m dot, this is previous score lower. So when I write this, I want to compare it with case. I want to compare it with this row count of each player, the attempt count of each player. So that is uh, attempt count is present in this first CT min max. So here it is dot attempt count. So case when dot attempt count is equal to uh, okay, here it is dot attempt count, and here it is equal to if it's equal to the sum, then it is 1, else it is 0, and as is overall improved. So we need to write group by m dot player id. So if I run this, what are we getting? CT dot attempt count is invalid. Okay, because yeah, this one also needs to be in the group by. So are we getting now the required output? So yeah, so for first player you're getting is overall improved as 1, and for second player you're getting 0. So now again I'll keep this in CTE improve as. Again I kept this in CTE. Now uh, now select. Now we want this entire output in a single table. I mean in a single output we want. So now what I'll do, I'll just select the CTE main as M, left join CTE improvement as IM on m dot player id is equal to im dot player id. So now here it is m dot. So now let's see star, basically m dot star comma im dot is overall improved. So are we getting the required output? So yeah, we are getting the required output 1110000. So hope you all understood the solution. Um, it's very simple. This is a classic case of joins with lead function and lag functions. I don't think there's a lead function, it's just a lag functions. So hope you all understood this, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.